What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream here. If you're new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Happy Friday. Read what's on the screen before we get started. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You're probably going to lose all your money if you trade. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, not a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Don't copy what you see here. Also read CFTC Rule 4.41 and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the markets here. As we are selling off at the open. Let's jump right into it, man. Got a feeling we could be in for a little bit of a wild ride today. Just my gut telling me that we might be in for a little bit of a wild ride. Got a couple things going on in the headline markets. Headline markets are just continuing to play out this year. But watching ES primarily today, like I said yesterday, going to stay off of, making sure this is straight, going to stay off of YM for right now, only because I'm managing really 3 different platforms, Tradeify, TradingView, and Topstep X. I got Tradeify accounts, one account loaded up on that other tab that I have up here. But right now I'm going to be looking at these 3-pack on Topstep X. Here on MES. So interesting structure that we're looking at right here. What's up? What's up? Yeah, interesting structure that we're looking at. Kind of choppy, right? Kind of choppy, consolidating up near these highs. We cracked out here. We came right back in, but zoomed out on the 5-minute, the 15-minute. Let's go out to the 1 hour. I won't pull the daily up yet, but yeah, pretty choppy, right? We were really big back and forth price action these last couple of weeks. We know what was going on. Big sell-offs on Monday, big pushes back up. And we've kind of just continued to chop around here. We definitely had some movement to the downside and then recoveries, but we really haven't extended in one direction and continued. We've just kind of sliced below and reverted back to this area of high volume that we're sitting at right here. If you can see zoomed out, looking at the volume profile. So yesterday, looking at yesterday's session, which I like to do, and then kind of start to drop down into the lower trading time frame for me. Yesterday's session, we know what we had. Pretty gnarly sell-off. Hopefully my connection stays up today. It was super frustrating. Apologies if you were on the stream yesterday and I had to end it really quickly. I tried it twice, but just internet was dead. Sold off, chopped around down here, and then eventually recovered. Overnight session, looking at what we had when we opened up. Pretty choppy, right? Sold off for some of the overnight session into Asia. Kind of a spike down here on London Open, near London Open. Recovery, pushing back up above VWAP, and now opening up very aggressively to the downside. Very aggressively to the downside. Really stopping on a dime here for now at the overnight low. It is 9:34 a.m. and 12 seconds. So we are sitting right at the overnight low that we put in. That's what I call the low that's put in between session changeover and 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Some guys are going to call it Asia, London, Globex, pre-market, whatever you want. But that's an interesting level. Interested to see if we get down below this level, start to break below prior day's NYSE session VWAP, and then head towards prior day low if we are in for some actual move to the downside today, or if we're going to revert back towards VWAP, kind of chop around there. I'm not going to get involved right off the open here. I do like that 15-minute opening range to set in here on the micro ES chart, but I don't have to wait for it. Yeah, I'm not going to take this first breakout to the downside. There's definitely a really aggressive play to the downside that you can look at. I think if we're actually going to move lower on the day and we're going to see some movement to the downside, a pullback up towards VWAP could be in store first. But what is going on? Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you guys being here. See what we can't do here on a Friday. If you're new, I'm here almost every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 100% free. I run a free community, and I offer a whole bunch of different codes to give you guys discounts, as well as working with traders one-on-one that are at that point in their trading where they know how to trade, but they're not making money trading. Advanced traders looking to get better. But I really don't push that. I like to do as much as I can for free, run an awesome community. We got over 1,500 members in Discord. Shared some wins on social media from that. Yesterday, we had a couple guys passing combines. We had somebody getting paid out. Pretty solid, man. Pretty solid. Watching this thing sell off. Yeah, going to take a look at these Topstep X accounts first. Yeah, here's the breakout. Really, really tight play to the downside. For that breakout, would be paying. Just a little aggressive, right? Like I said, I think if we're going to blast lower, I think we're likely to pull back up to VWAP first. But that was your first breakout play to the downside, maybe targeting this prior day's NYSE session VWAP, which seems to be somewhat of an important dynamic level. And if not, at least giving you some reference to where you are looking at the 1 minute chart relative to yesterday's price action and volume. So let's see where we go from here, man. Do we really just start ripping to the downside? If we do, yeah, I don't know that I want to throw a level in between all of this. I'm probably not. I'm probably just going to hang on with prior day's low and watch this thing move. But yeah, there's the breakout to the downside, paying. I'm going to leave this on the 1 minute chart. Sorry for making you guys dizzy here. I'm going to leave this on the 1 minute chart for now and just start to watch how this thing plays out. And I'm going to run some background music today. See if that's not super loud. Nice. If you're on here, let me know if that's super loud, if you could hear me over it, if it's extremely quiet. Lone Wolf, I see you're the one in the comments. Let me know how that music sounds, if it's super super loud or super low. For some reason, it used to be super loud when I was starting these. Let's see. That's me talking. Yeah, I can see where the volume is. That shouldn't be that bad. Not too loud. Cool. Cool. We'll get some background noise rolling here, man. We'll keep it fun for Friday. Yeah, so crack below, open up to the downside, right? Aggressively to the downside. Actually was the minute before we were really starting to push, cracking through VWAP. Quick pause for a few minutes at overnight low, breaking down to prior day's NYSE session VWAP. Again, not the strongest level, but something I like to pay attention to here on ES. Again, just for a frame of reference. And yeah, this is weak, man. This is super weak. Dow was looking much weaker today. A couple guys in the community pointed that out. Very aggressive selling to the downside. Same structure off the open. Taking a look at... Let's look at NQ. NQ finally following suit. Was living in his own world there for a while. But aggressively selling off as well. Coming down here on the 1 minute if I zoom out. Testing these lows right here, right? Overnight lows. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm not going to be the first seller. I already could have taken that and it would have paid, but I'm not going to jump directly in. Get ready for this 15-minute opening range to set. Give us a little bit more structure. The 15-minute opening range is exactly what it sounds like. The high and the low that's put in from 9:30 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. Eastern for NYSE Open. Not set yet, obviously, right? We got to wait for 9:45 a.m. Print that candle, but start getting it ready. Prior days high and low, overnight high and low, 15-minute opening range. Initial balance, which is 1 hour opening range. Those are the somewhat objective levels that I like to have on my chart. All of those are very objective. Overnight low, I think, can be debated. I have clear definitions to make it objective the way that I mark it, but I've heard it called so many different things. Outside of that, got 3 VWAPs on this chart. The standard session VWAP out of the indicators tab, and 2 anchored VWAPs, NYSE session and prior day's NYSE session, anchored VWAP. Volume down on the bottom, visible range, volume profile on the side. That's what I'm working with. Somewhat of a lot here on ES just because I am more zoomed in. I like to have a little bit more reference. None of these tools, indicators are magic. Price action, market structure, volume, that's going to overpower and outweigh everything, in my humble opinion. That's what I pay the most attention to. Everything else is, kind of secondary on the chart. Just utilizing it for structure, levels to pay attention to, ways to structure risk. But price action and market structure are going to show you this. Only thing I have running on the side, only other secret sauce, is my favorite friend, Bookmap here. Bookmap is an order flow tool displaying level 2 data. You have price right here, right, for ES. Quantity of orders on the book above and below price being displayed as a heat map. Makes it real easy to pick out really large standout orders. Like we have a little bit down here. Yeah, quite a bit down here. But nothing that's like absolutely lit up like a Christmas tree. Really, really, really heavy. Looks like this stuff is being overlapped. This is kind of this algorithmic liquidity. Looks like there's something down here around the 17, 16 and 3/4 level. But nothing super duper standout on ES. Nothing jumping out at me just yet. Took a short from 160 on MNQ, got stopped to break even, 140 and out at 110. Nice, very nice, man. In and out. Again, Friday, I was talking about this a little bit in the chat. I was tweeting about it. Friday's a tough day for a lot of traders. It just ends up being the day I see the most red. I see the most blown accounts. I see mistakes being made. I see risk management slipping. It's just traditionally a tough day. And now whether that's market conditions or traders is out for debate. I think it has a lot to do with mindset coming into the weekend, coming into the end of the week. A lot of times we want to push. We have this, incorrect way of thinking that we want to have some dollar amount made before the weekend starts, or we want to finish the week off really green. We want to come back from any losses that we had and end the week green, kind of like a day goal. And it's tough, man. It's tough. So I would really encourage you, especially in these types of markets where we're seeing a lot of volatility, it's unexpected stuff, it's difficult to get a handle on, kind of really what it is and why. It's also options expiration, monthly options expiration. But outside of all that, man, I just see risk management slip on Fridays. And I've been guilty of that myself, for sure. So do what you can to get in, get out, structure risk, stick to your risk management plan, and try not to, end your week with exceeding your daily loss limit or over trading, over leveraging on one trade. It's just not worth it to do. And again, if you recognize that, that's the indicator to back off and to say, hey, I am, guilty of that. This is a risk factor. We're getting a little bit wiggly here. Getting a little bit wiggly here on ES. But yeah, it's don't F it up Friday. That's the move. Capital preservation Friday. I've seen it called a lot of different things, but just be cautious, man. It's not to be fearful, to be too risk averse. Wait patiently for your trading setups to come, right? That's what we try to do. Put them on, and if you have to end the day small red, so be it. But it doesn't have to be a blown account. It doesn't have to be continuing to trade all the way into the close, trying to get back to break even or to hit some $200 day. Market's not going anywhere. It's going to be here on Monday. And if it's not, we probably got something else to worry about. But what's up, man? Good. Good. We're liking the music. That's good. What's up, Ryan? Second trade was when it took resistance at day VWAP. And then it broke to NYSE session VWAP to the downside, in and out. Yeah. This was a potential move right here on ES, right? I eyeballed it, kind of said it. Again, do I like to jump in 9:35, like 5 minutes into the open? It's pretty volatile to do, but we had downtrend pressure, and there was a simple trade, structured directly above this, just a couple ticks above, saying, hey, if we come back to VWAP, I'm out. I'm expecting this to break to the downside, and we got that here. So if you took that on NQ, something similar, maybe pull back up to the day's VWAP, and then a continuation to prior days or another VWAP you had down below, some level. Solid, man. Solid. Playing off of simple market structure to the downside. So we got our 15-minute opening range set here. Man, if we are going to continue lower, this could be a larger move. I think we're likely to see a retest of VWAP. I like that VWAP is sitting right at 15-minute opening range high. I'm not going to take the first break down. There's definitely a trade if we come back down and we get through this prior day session VWAP, we start to break out to the downside. There's certainly a short play. I'm going to have to see what it looks like if we start to come back down lower, but I could see this pulling back up to VWAP here, breaking this 15-minute opening range high first. I'm going to wait to see what happens before I jump right in to try it, but this looks like simple shorts. Try to find a way in if this move is indeed going to continue. This looks weak, man. This looks weak. Now, breaking 15-minute opening range low. Let's see what happens down here. I think the floor might fall out on this one. Yeah, this was getting close to a setup. Let's see what happens down here. We pull back in. I'm going to look for a break and retest to the downside. I don't know that I'm going to get it, and this may be a way in to structure risk above this level, taking the breakout, but I'm just going to watch to see what happens down here. Off of these VWAPs right here where we're failing to get above, stop loss up above this level was also a play, but yeah, I'm stuck watching this market sell off. That was a way in right there. That was my way in right there. But yeah, I'm gonna be stuck waiting on this one. That was a good short opportunity. Either taking the breakout or hindsight here, right? Hindsight capital. Taking the breakout or taking resistance being found up here with a stop loss like this, really wide. Option number one, option number two. Both paying. Let's see what we get from down here. I'm going to throw a zone off these lows just in case we come all the way down here. You know what? We get down below that level, I think we're headed way, way lower. And I think it's going to look something like that. A lot of weakness, selling off down below 15-minute opening range low. Hindsight Capital, there you go. Yeah. Morning, what's up, Brian? Buying scalpers taken out here. Taken out there. Yeah. This is looking weak, man. This was a nice way in. This was a nice way in right here. Either as soon as we started to get some movement to the downside, or this continual rejection up here. I would have paid to a 1-to-1 already. Stuck waiting now. Hang out and watch. See what sets up for us next. Mark could do anything though. A lot of news. Trade careful. Yeah. Morning. Yeah. This is dicey. We got more 10 a.m. news coming up. This was so volatile off the open that like I'm not even checking the news event because it's just one big news event. 10 a.m. we got existing home sales and revised consumer sentiment. That is orange folder. It's medium impact. Trump's also speaking at a certain point today. That is tentative. Good morning. What's going on, guys? If you're on, smash the like button, man. Help me out. Feel free, hit like, hit subscribe. If you're not here from the Discord, I'll throw that link in the chat. We'd be more than happy to have you in the free Discord. Boom. And if you want to check out instant funded accounts where you skip the eval, you go straight to a funded account, Tradeify has the answer. 30% off. Ends up being about $357 all in to a funded account where you are trading and potentially making money that you're ready to withdraw. I've got one of those loaded up on my second tab here. Looking at Topstep X right now, first on this 3-pack. But yeah, I've been trading that this week. It's pretty sweet. So far working well. I've got Tradeify linked in with TradingView. We gonna get another leg down on this thing and really sell off towards prior day low? I'm looking at this short. Got close to retesting, 15-minute opening range low. Would have liked to see a retest there. We can certainly pull all the way back up to this level here. But this would be a simple trade to the downside. Just looking at this move to continue down towards prior day low. Super weak. Buyers really failing to take it higher at any point. This to me looks like find a way in short. I've missed my opportunity definitely once here. Just waiting to see what happens down around this low. Yeah, I'm going to try a short from down here, guys. This is a breakout trade to the downside. I got to get in with a couple more contracts here. Actually, I don't. I could run this thing really wide, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to take this as a breakout to the downside. See if we can't get another leg out of this thing before we come back up and retest 15-minute opening range low. We come all the way back up here. I do think we're in for a pullback up deeper, maybe a sweep above this high, sweep above overnight low. So I'm taking it breaking out to the downside. I'm going to watch this thing play out pretty quickly, either in my favor or against me. Just deciding if I want to go like really tight on risk structure, like right down here, or give this thing a little bit more room to breathe. But I'm short from 61.14 right now. Not breaking out to the downside, at least yet. Nope. Gonna come back up on this one. Just trying to decide if I want to actually give this thing room to come all the way back up here. A retest of this level before a sell-off could be likely, but that's taking on a lot of risk. I'm really not giving myself room for another trade if I do that. So I know I'm like being twitchy with this stop loss right now. I'm probably going to settle somewhere down here right at 15-minute opening range low. Right around $200 worth of risk, which is where I like to keep it. Simple, breaking, retesting, looking for a continuation, looking for another leg down, selling the breakout, little bit of a bottom of the day entry, but this thing just looks so weak to me. Continuing to sell off. There's a find a way in short and look to get in towards prior day low. I think that's a clear level to go and be tested, at least down around these lows. And I'm looking to get some trading in here with you guys. If I got to take the stop, I'll probably try to find a way to try it again. Unless we really start to reject here at like 10 a.m. We see some crazy volatility that brings us higher. But that's my trade so far for now. 61.14, short 6 micros, stop at 61.21, just above 15-minute opening range low. Playing for a breakout of this consolidation to the downside. Really not giving it a lot of room to pull back on me. But not breaking out just yet. We didn't get continuation out of that one. And I am holding this into orange folder news. I'm holding this into new home sales, which could be dicey. Oh, a lot of liquidity out of this one, off the book. Yeah, I'm going to hold it into this one. In it now, guys. Oh. That's very, very volatile. Out for break even. That was very volatile. Very volatile. Was not expecting that for new home sales. Wow. Wow. Existing home sales and consumer sentiment. That was way more volatility than I would expected for an orange folder. So just to show you what out for break even on that one, showed me a lot of profit. Didn't have a take profit in. Could have grabbed $200 on each account. Could have flattened all on that. But at that point, I'm going to go, take profit quickly below near prior day low. But that was way faster than I thought it would be. Here's what I look at, which is forexfactory.com. That was showing orange folder. That's medium impact, not not nearly as high impact as something like a red folder event. So that's somewhat unexpected on my end. Wow. Stop to break even. Let's see if this thing does continue to the downside here. Getting a slow refresh rate on this for some reason. Yeah, showed me a lot of profit. If I was quicker on the flat and all, you know, I would have got paid on that. But that's really a wild move out of an orange folder news event. Again, I'm on the 1 minute. I'm pretty zoomed in, but we'll see how this trade management would have played. I was really looking at that trade towards prior day low. You know, that would have been the level that I would like to see tested. We got really close, so that's fair enough to take profit down there. But at very least, stop loss to break even and not stopped out for a full $200. We'll see if this thing continues. Here's a retest. There's an opportunity to take it lower right now. Again, I'm not going to jump right back in on this. That's a lot of volatility. We had buyers take it right back up and then come back into this zone. So trade is still okay, but that's just too much volatility to jump back in on. I want to see what happens if we get down around prior day's low and kind of make a decision from there. But fun, entertaining nonetheless, right? in the short, showed a ton of profit quickly and then right back up towards break even. That's a wild move out of the markets. Did NQ get it also? Yeah, similar move out of NQ. Similar move out of Dow. Dang. Yeah, I would have liked to snag that one for a quick flat and all on the move down. Should have been quicker on that one. But what just was not expecting that type of volatility. I said a little bit dangerous, holding into it, 10 a.m., but just wasn't expecting it to move fast like that. Maybe just a little bit of a wick and then it start to move a little bit quicker. But that was a gnarly initial push lower. Not too crazy, I guess, because I'm zoomed in here on the 1 minute, but that was a little bit of a wild ride there. So let's see what happens. Kind of consolidating right back off of the start of that push lower, right at the low of these. We did get close to yesterday's low. So again, I'm not super inclined to jump directly back into that trade and try to take it lower. We might still sell directly off and head back down there, but I'm going to wait to see now if we find buyers after coming down to this level. You know, near the 100 level is 6,100, and we start to pull back up. Just gonna stay a little bit more patient on this one now. But in and out for the first trade for near break even, $13 across 3 accounts. Made enough for Chipotle with guac on this Friday. Crazy. My TP got smacked so hard it gave me extra money. Yeah, yeah. Got positive slippage on that one, Ryan. Nice. You can get in what's getting. Yeah. 4 winning days in a row. Nice. I don't know about shorts after this wick. Yeah, I still think downtrend, right? Just structure. This looks weak. This looks like the breakout on 15-minute opening range, and we just continue lower. Down around prior day's low. You know, here we go right now to the downside. We do have liquidity down below starting to stack up. That looks good to go get grabbed. No big retest out of ES. Like retesting 15-minute opening range low and, you know, session VWAP and prior day session VWAP and then this continuation, I'm definitely in. I got a clear way to structure risk. We're just not getting a pull. Like, we're chopping a little bit. We're not getting a serious pullback out of that thing. I would like to see it pull back up here and then continue lower. And start to continue lower. But this now looks like we're just going to sell. Still room to about 85 between. Yeah, I could see that. Again, super weak. Continuing to sell off. No pullback. Nowhere near VWAP. You know, it starts to look a little overextended, but everything is calling short on this. There is liquidity down on Bookmap. This is what I look for. Kind of what I was talking about before. Stuff that gets lit up like a Christmas tree. We got quite a bit of orders outside of this, you know, algorithmic stuff. This looks legit as well, but we got quite a bit of orders to the downside. Those could want to be filled, and it looks like we want to go and fill those out. Oh yeah, NQ all the way back down, YM all the way back down. Yep. This is pretty weak, man. Gnarly to the downside. Gnarly moves out of the market today, guys. Yeah, I would have after that movement, I would have liked to find a way in with a pullback up here towards, you know, 15-minute opening range low. Again, these VWAPs give me some way to say, okay, you know, buyers tried it and then we failed again really harshly. I'm jumping in on that selling pressure like I was trying to do here for the breakout to the downside, which we got. Just too much news volatility to be able to grab anything with my no take profit play. But let's see what we get here down around prior day low. Yeah, if you are looking at this as a pullback before a long play and a recovery to the upside, which we've seen a lot of these days, you know, you could be really countered down around here and say, I'm looking to get long. I got a clean way to structure risk. I think we're going to see a recovery. I think we're going to come all the way back up to this area of high volume. Could absolutely see that, and you know, we're pulling back on it right now. But I'm not looking at that play just yet. Again, looking for these smaller movements on the 1 minute. Don't need to capture the whole movement. Just need to find a good way in to structure risk. Playing with the low time frame trend. Pulling back up to the 15s. So this could set up a short opportunity. We might not make it up here, but I would look for this to crack up towards the 20s. Right, to come pull up back towards 15-minute opening range low, prior day session VWAP, somewhere back into this range, and then start to reject. That would be somewhat of a short entry for me. Yep. Does seem like a good idea. Again, playing along with this higher time frame, this lower time frame trend. This is looking super weak. We could absolutely start to recover. Like, we can see some really, really aggressive buyers step in from down around this area. We did fail to get below this low, which I don't love. But this is still looking weak. So I'm looking at this short. Don't know that I want to take it really aggressively as we're pushing up. I'd like to see this start to happen. Right, and then I'd be happy jumping back in Not buying the dip, but buying the recovery after the dip, as that saying goes. Stop loss somewhere back up here, above the high. But we might not get through this level. This may be the selling point right here. But I'm going to wait for at least one level to be tested, at least some form of an aggressive pullback to happen before I look to jump right back in. Yeah, not going to take it from here though. This may be the turn. This may be the pullback up here. But again, this is just a temporary volume point of control. It's not it's not a real level for me. I'd like it off this low. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Nope, this may be the turn right here. Yeah, we're not going to go and hit that, huh? Oh, yep. That was that looks like it's going to be it. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. We may pull right back down and blast off. We start to form more of this uptrend structure and this doesn't continue. This is really starting to invalidate the trade, right? If we just continue to start to put higher lows in and continue to the upside, this looks like the selling opportunity though. Just not going to be. We're just too far extended. We're just not going to come back up and test the levels that I want to see for a entry. I was looking at this to be very likely to pull back up to this area, 21, 22, getting into 15-minute opening range low, back up into that range. But this is just too weak. This was a selling opportunity right off of this kind of hesitation. Stop loss back into that range, but I just can't put a stop loss where I want my entry to be. So, yeah, this thing's looking weak. This thing's looking weak. But you got to wait for your levels, right? Wait for your entry to be hit. Wait for your area to enter. Otherwise, you're chasing. You're just jumping in. If you have an area in mind, a level that you're waiting for, and you always hop in before price reaches that, you're probably going to be doing yourself a disservice. You're probably going to have a lot of trades that would have given you a whole lot better entry, but you may have, some missed opportunities, not technically missed trades, right? If it's not a setup for you, it's technically not a missed trade if it doesn't do what you need it to do, doesn't give you your entry criteria. Let's see. NQ did something. Yeah, NQ was coming back down a little bit. Yeah, these aren't ripping to the downside though. This we come back up above this high. I'm not gonna look short again on it right now. YM's looking weakest out of all of them, sitting down around these lows. Let's see what we get out of the markets today, man. Could have wrapped it up with just a nice $220 win across 3 accounts. Been nice and nice and quick and easy on the 10-minute news candle. Just wasn't quick on the draw on that one. Was not fast enough. Was not expecting that. So never gonna be ready for not expecting it. Quite a bit of orders at 6,100. I'm still tempted short on this, but we are really not continuing this clean trend, at least so far, to the downside. We've started to put some higher lows here on the low time frames after pulling back up. I still think we are getting ready to sell off. I'm tempted to take it short with a stop just above here, but it's just not a clean entry, right? We really didn't get a retest of these levels up here. I'm going to take it short from down here, guys. That's my game plan. I'm short from 109. I'm going to go ahead and size up just a little bit on this. Yeah, I'm short from 109. Stop above this area consolidation. I'm looking at this continuing lower. We got a lot of liquidity sitting on the book down around the 6,100 level. Not a beautiful risk to reward structure based on where I'm at right now. But if this is going to pull all the way back up, going to tag me out first. Can easily happen. Again, we are forming a little bit of uptrend structure here. I'm not giving it a lot of room to come and test these highs. I'll give it a little bit more. No, I'm not going to. Sorry, I'm thinking through this trade as I usually do once I hop in, where the stop has to go. I'm okay with a retest near these highs, but I think if we come all the way back up here, I'm wrong. We're not continuing lower. We're in fact just going to pull back up, start to chop around, maybe recover. Maybe see some serious buying pressure step in. But buyers are failing to take it higher, at least for the time being. Big liquidity down below, prior day's low, clean level. I think even if we are going to recover to the upside, we're likely to come down and check this level out down here. Big stack of orders that I'm trading towards, along with prior day low down here. That gives me some confidence to put risk on. So that's my play. Short from 61.09 and a quarter. 5 micros. Stop right now is at 61.18 and 3/4. I'll be active with my trade management, right, as we start to come down into profit. As we maybe move back up against my position, I'll consider cutting or taking profit and just kind of make a decision as we go. but I'm trying to short here. I would like to see that momentum continue right here down around these lows. We're at a decision point here. Really need to see it start breaking. There we go. Get some momentum out of this bad boy. Nice, nice, nice. See if we can get some continuation here. Got to get through these lows. Got to get through prior day's low or down around prior day's low to this 6100 level. I'm going to hang on to this one. Nice entry, nice momentum. There we go. That would be a solid target down around this level. If we can get through prior day's low. Let's see if we can get through these lows or if we're just going to sweep below. Don't know that I want to let this come all the way back up on me, but I don't want to cap a good trade, man. It's a tough call. Come on, where is our momentum here? Time to sell off. Gonna have to pull back first. NQ new lows of the session. ES new lows of the session. Yeah, I'm gonna play this one tight, guys. I'm gonna go stop loss to break even. I want to see this continue. It could easily be a retest of this level before continuation, but I'm not gonna let this come back on me. I want to see it continue. Not gonna take profit. I'll get stopped again if I have to, but I want to see the continuation right here, right now. I'm not gonna let it come back and jerk around up here after moving in profit. That's my play. Again, going for smaller movements. I don't have to capture the whole movement on these. But I'm going to be a little bit tighter on risk management, right? I'm not giving it a lot of room up here anyway, and I want to see it come through these lows right here, right now. Prior day's low could be a problem. There we go. There we go. Can we do it through prior day's low? Let's go. Come on, I'm not being greedy with you, ES. We got a big stack of liquidity. I know you want to go grab it. I know you want to go grab it, man. Oh, not going to come through prior day's low? That was a pretty big stack there. 6100 is still on. Oh, God, come on, man. Let's see it. This market's going to play with me. I could feel it. I could feel it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, God, man, I know it's going to mess with me at prior day low now. 6100, we got like 200, 250 on the book there. Ugh. Ugh. I'm gonna take it off here, guys. We'll see how this one plays. Here's my thought process. I'm gonna make it a $350 day. Um, this may break, and below this level, we got a lot of liquidity. We'll see how that plays. This may break, and below that level, we got a lot of liquidity. But my thought process here is if I'm not gonna hold through all this all the way down through the 90s, I might as well take my small profit and just be done with it. If we break the 6100, I think we got room to run. So if you're in a trade like this, you're short, you want to hang on, I'd go stop loss wider than me. That's not a good area to allow to be retested because we may see this thing really sell off. There we go. There's the aggressive sell off. That'd be stop getting hit. So you could say trade management on that one. Oh my God, that'd be like to the tick. Not filling me actually because I was right above that 6100 level. But this looks like we might go. So my thought process is, unless I'm going to move that take profit all the way down here, I shouldn't let that thing come all the way back on me. Was that where my take profit was? I got to see where this thing's going to go. Yeah, it probably would have filled me for a little bit more, but that's the win. We got another winner. This thing looks weak. It looks like it wants to go. Again, I wasn't going to hold through that hesitation because I'm only asking for a couple more ticks out of the thing. If I was going to let it run, hanging on through stop loss, through break even again, or a big sell off. There we go, through the 100s. Yeah, this thing's going to sell. This thing's going to sell. 96 is the next level we got quite a bit of liquidity at, and then down into the 80s, man. Yep, pushing through this 96. Let's see if we could pop it. Show you to watch it on Bookmap here. This stuff right here, big stacks of orders. Here was our 6100 level that I was eyeballing. Now we're sitting right above this level right here. Could be some iceberg action there. We started to come down into it, but not a whole lot of volume traded. Let's see if we pop through that and get some more volatility to the downside, or if we find some support here. But this looks like we keep going through these next levels. There we go. There's the crack through. Nice volatility. Nice volume being traded. Yeah. Yup. Could have held that bad boy, but again, taking my small profit and just getting in and out on a Friday, being happy with what the market gives me. So on that note, guys, I'm not going to watch this thing. I'm not going to tempt myself with FOMO, try to find a way back in. There was a hold play there for sure that would have paid, but took my profit where I took it, and I'm just going to be happy with that. Appreciate you guys hopping on here. We got another small green day. Nothing crazy, but ending green this week, so happy with that. Can't complain. Took a payout from Topstep this morning, actually, so no complaints on a Friday to end small green. Remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I appreciate you hopping on here. It's for entertainment purposes only. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. Make sure you read the full disclaimer in the description. Check out the links. Check out Tradeify, man, which I didn't even trade on here again today. Maybe next week we'll get some done. 30% off straight to funded accounts. If you're not in the free Discord, hop in the free Discord. We'll be more than happy to have you there with me. Talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome weekend. Get outside and touch some grass. See you next week.